Good evening, it's 8 o'clock. The top headlines tonight. A chilling video now emerges which shows a Jeep driving into farmers. You can see the Jeep driving into farmers who are walking into their backs. Videos also now emerge of a man beaten on his head with lathis. An injured farmer who is currently in hospital says the minister's son was in the Jeep which drove into us. But 24 hours later, police have still not questioned the minister's son. Prime Minister in Lucknow to celebrate the Azadi Mahotsav, but silent on the deaths in Lakhimpur. The Chief Minister, BJP leaders all silent. Only Varun Gandhi tweets on this new video. Meanwhile, it's now 40 hours in detention for Priyanka Gandhi and Dipinder Hooda. FIRs finally filed this afternoon. Priyanka tells NDTV not allowed to meet my lawyer, ready to be detained for 6 months, but will meet families of farmers. Indian Air Force in Gujarat, BJP celebrates local polls win. After a complete makeover in Gandhinagar, the BJP wins 41 of 44 seats. The Congress wins a tough municipality. AAP cuts into Congress votes. The new Indian Air Force chief says significant Chinese aircraft at the line of actual control, pointing to a significant number of planes now at 3 Tibet air bases. The new chief says the Indian Air Force is fully prepared to face Chinese air power. Fuel prices hiked again. Diesel is now at over 90 rupees. Will the high diesel prices now equal higher vegetable prices? India's coal stocks only for 4 days. The minister says the situation has improved, but new coal sale rules announced today to cut the current shortage. Arrest of Aryan Khan is a witch hunt. He's a great kid, says fashion designer Suzanne Khan. Meanwhile, 4 more arrested today by the Narcotics Control Bureau in the cruise ship drugs case. They were all part of the event organizers who had organized this cruise. Well, breaking news just coming in. Details have finally emerged of an FIR which has been lodged by the family of farmers against the Minister of State for Home's son. They say that he is responsible for the Jeep running into farmers who are walking. That video which has just emerged saying it was a conspiracy by the minister and his son. So those are the latest details coming out from the FIR filed by families. Now let's just look at this new video which has emerged, which is really now showing what happened to farmers. We can look there, you can see that farmers are walking and this Thar Jeep hits them from behind. You can see a farmer in a green turban falling on the bonnet of that Jeep. It's not clear yet whether this driver had lost control or what was actually happening here, but you can see there this Jeep just driving into farmers who are walking peacefully. In fact, apparently walking back from their protest. Another vehicle also approaching farmers from behind. Farmers falling to the ground as the vehicle hits them, some scrambling to get out of the way. Unclear who is actually driving the vehicle in this video. The farmers allege the minister's son was driving the lead vehicle. The son has denied that. Also, other horrific videos emerging. So let's just look at that sequence. Around 3 o'clock on the 3rd of October in Lakhimpur Kheri, UP, the farmers are protesting against Union Minister Ajay Mishra and also a program of the Deputy Chief Minister Keshav Maurya organized there. A black SUV runs into the crowd followed by a second black SUV. Now look here, you can see a person getting out of one of those Jeeps and running away. Who is that? It's unclear. You can see visuals which farmers groups are saying of a man under that wheel of the car. And also this horrific video, we warn you, these pictures are disturbing, of another man, apparently either a journalist or a BJP worker being hit on the head with lathis. So it's still unclear what exactly happened, but you can see there the visuals of the horrific violence which has actually emerged from Lakhimpur Kheri. Still unclear of the exact sequence of events, but eyewitnesses there are talking of how the minister's son was involved. In fact, we spoke exclusively to one of the farmers who organized the protest. He was injured as a Jeep ran into them. He's currently in Medanta Hospital. He says it was a conspiracy to kill all of us, and the minister's son was in the convoy.
किसानों की ओर से प्रोटेस्ट था उनको काले झंडे दिखाने का। उससे पहले एक वहाँ अजय मिश्र टैनी है जिन्होंने किसानों को धमकी दी थी, जिसका वीडियो भी है कि सुधर जाओ नहीं तो सुधार दिए जाएंगे।
लखीमपुर छोड़ना पड़ता है।
लखीमपुर तो छोड़ो, अब यूपी में नहीं रह पाओगे। तो किसानों में आक्रोश था इसके प्रति। उन्होंने कहा कि हम विरोध करेंगे। शांतिपूर्वक विरोध था किसानों का। मैं गया था और लगभग समापन की ओर कार्यक्रम था। अजय मिश्र टैनी के गुंडे और उनका लड़का जीप पर सवार होकर आते हैं और रौंदते हुए, मैं आ रहा था, चल रहा था रोड पर, मुझे रौंदते हुए चले गए। मुझे टारगेट था उनका।
So it's still controversy over where the minister's son actually was. But as farmers are asking, why hasn't he been arrested yet? Why hasn't the Minister of State for Home been asked to resign from the Modi cabinet, given the questions over his role in the killings of these farmers? Alok Pandey reports from the ground.
With this video, the horror of Sunday's killing of 4 farmers sank in across the country. For the families of the victims, another reality was sinking in. The final, heartbreaking journeys. This one of farmer Lovepreet Singh. Just 19 years old, he along with 3 other farmers on Sunday died as convoy of vehicle belonging to the son of BJP MP and Union Minister Ajay Mishra ran over him and others.
हमने पूछा बेटा कैसे हो, ठीक हो? बोला पापा मैं ठीक हूँ और तुम जल्दी आ जाओ। और जब तक हम लोग लखीमपुर पहुँचते नहीं हैं तो उसकी डेथ हो जाती है।
These are terribly disturbing and distressing scenes here in Uttar Pradesh's Lakhimpur. A 19-year-old boy is being cremated here after he was killed on Sunday, allegedly by those people who owe allegiance to a minister of state in the central government, no less, and his son. It is alleged that his convoy, the minister's son's convoy, ran over Lovepreet, and that is how he died. He was the one of 3 children in the household.
Farmer leaders allege that the 4th farmer was shot dead. Sources say the post-mortem report has only established ante-mortem injuries, shock and brain hemorrhage as cause of the death of all 8 people who died on Sunday.
जो देखने वाले हैं उन्होंने कहा कि हमारे सामने गोली मारी है और गोली उसमें आई नहीं मेडिकल में।
Horrific video reportedly from Sunday and being widely shared online appears to show farmers being crushed at least by 2 vehicles. The lead vehicle looks like a Mahindra Thar that belongs to Ashish Mishra, the son of Minister and MP Ajay Mishra. The video shows the farmer crushed from behind in what appears to be a deliberate attack. While the police has not verified the video, the model of cars seen in it match with visuals seen by NDTV crew on ground. The big question, was Ashish Mishra's son in one of the cars that killed the farmers? But protesters are divided over whether he was there or not. In an exclusive interview, the farmer leader Tejinder Virk, who called for the protest, says he saw Ashish. But Simranjeet Singh, an eyewitness who saw the full tragedy unfold, alleges the occupants of the car fired gunshots, but he was not spotted on the day of the incident.
बाद में फिर फायरिंग करते हुए भागे हैं नीचे की तरफ लोग 5-7 लोग। तो पुलिस भी उनके पीछे बैठी है, कुछ किसान भी भागते हैं, लेकिन किसानों की तरफ थोड़ा सा पुलिस आती है तो किसान वापस आ जाते हैं।
कौन लोग थे जो फायरिंग करते थे?
उसी गाड़ी में से निकलते हैं।
पथराव और लाठी ये उन्होंने, चूंकि थार गाड़ी हमारी आगे थी तो उस पर मारा गया।
24 hours after the murder charge against Ashish Mishra, the son of the minister, the police has not even questioned him, let alone arrest him.
Forget his arrest, has the police even questioned him till now?
There are certain formalities are supposed to be done when a case is registered.
If this was a normal murder case where I was accused of murder, would this be the same attitude of the police?
Attitude of the police is very much in favor of the complainant.
In the violence that followed, the BJP minister's driver and 2 BJP supporters were killed. Even though this was caught on video, there haven't been any arrests for that either. While the tension may have been diffused somewhat for now, sources say top BJP leadership are worried on the ramifications of the incident. Just ahead of crucial 2022 state polls, with the farmers' protest spreading beyond western Uttar Pradesh. In Lakhimpur, the BJP has all 8 Vidhan Sabha seats and also Lok Sabha seats. With Ravi Ranjan Shukla, Vineet Verma and Alok Pandey, Usama Shab for NDTV.
And And the Prime Minister was in Lucknow today for an occasion to celebrate 75 years of India's independence and also to distribute free houses, interact with beneficiaries. But as the opposition targeted him, asking why the Prime Minister couldn't go to Lakhimpur Kheri and why he was silent on the deaths in Lakhimpur Kheri. Yogi Adityanath, the Chief Minister, top BJP ministers are also silent in this. Only MP Varun Gandhi has been tweeting also on this viral video. Meanwhile, Priyanka Gandhi spoke exclusively to NDTV from her police custody. Remember, it's now nearly 40 hours of detention for Priyanka Gandhi, Dipinder Hooda, and they say that they haven't even been allowed to meet a lawyer or to see the FIR against them.
Urban India, transforming urban
The Prime Minister in Lucknow for a pre-poll launch of projects. Sitting beside him, the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. More than 48 hours into the horrific Sunday violence, it seemed business as usual for them. In this vital poll-bound state, choosing to completely ignore the killing of farmers with no mention during this event.
मुझे संतुष्टि है कि योगी जी की सरकार आने के बाद यूपी में शहरी गरीबों को 9 लाख घर बनाकर दिए गए हैं
कि उत्तर प्रदेश ने विगत 4.5 वर्ष के दौरान अर्बनाइजेशन में कुछ नई उपलब्धियां हासिल की.
As this event happened, the Yogi government continued to block and detain opposition leaders in the state. Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi, in custody for almost 2 days now, challenged the Prime Minister for a response to the video showing the alleged attack.
मोदी जी नमस्कार. मैंने सुना है कि आज आज़ादी का अमृत उत्सव मनाने के लिए आप लखनऊ आ रहे हैं. मैं आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ कि आपने ये वीडियो देखा है?
Priyanka Gandhi Vadra says she is ready to remain in custody for a long time, but she and her party have questioned the legality of her arrest. That it's been over 24 hours since she was held, but wasn't produced before a magistrate in that time.
My arrest actually, which was a verbal arrest, is illegal considering that I have been here more than 24 hours. I have not been served or brought before a magistrate during this period.
Priyanka took on not just the BJP, but even the SP and the BSP, asking why they weren't protesting more. Both have a larger presence in UP than the Congress.
I was not allowed to go there, but in fact, we don't believe like other parties in burning the buses. She's been working, monitoring things for almost 16 to 18 hours every day, and all other matters also.
Congress MP Dipinder Hooda's detention continued, while the Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel was stopped at the airport itself. In this video, he can be seen repeatedly saying that he does not propose to go to Lakhimpur Kheri.
हमको क्यों रोका जा रहा है भाई? हम कहीं नहीं जा रहे हैं. हम पीसीसी जाएंगे. हम कोई लखीमपुर तो जा नहीं रहे हैं. फिर रोकने का औचित्य क्या?
Baghel sat on a protest inside the airport.
Sir, please.
This while Union Minister of State for Home Ajay Mishra continued to maintain innocence. He said his son Ashish Mishra was not driving the SUV that day, but despite an FIR, no arrests have been made.
वहाँ जो गाड़ी चढ़ाया है या जैसे चढ़ी है ये आप ही लोग जानते होंगे. मैं वहाँ पर नहीं था, ना मेरा पुत्र था.
Yogi and Modi's silence on this issue and the BJP's covert defense of the minister and his son, even silence on Haryana Chief Minister ML Khattar's call to violence against farmers has raised doubts whether the party wants to brazen it out.
अपने किसानों के 500-700 हज़ार लोग आप लोग अपने खड़े करो, उनको वॉलंटियर बनाओ और फिर जगह जगह सठे साठम समाचारे जैसे को तैसा.
In Guwahati, the Central Agriculture Minister evaded questions.
Sir, Lakhimpur Kheri pe kya bola?
Please. As politics over Lakhimpur Kheri plays out, the matter has now reached the Supreme Court, with lawyers seeking intervention by the top court, even as families of all the victims wait for justice. Bureau Report, NDTV.
So political reactions pouring in from the opposition. This as Congress leader Rahul Gandhi has said he will also go to Lucknow tomorrow and try to proceed to meet the families of those killed in Lakhimpur Kheri. Meanwhile, an ex-Supreme Court Justice, Justice Lokur, today said the arrest of Priyanka Gandhi is completely illegal.
That is clearly unconstitutional. I mean, there is no doubt about it. The Constitution of India says that a person has to be produced within 24 hours unless there are some supervening circumstances. Supreme Court has said that the function of the Supreme Court is like the sentinel on the qui-vive. which is to say that it is like a sentinel on alert, right?
Yes.
Now, the Supreme Court has to be alert to the fact that fundamental rights, constitutional rights, are being brazenly violated. And if the Supreme Court doesn't take notice of this, well, I don't know what to say.
Well, moving to other news, the BJP may be on the defensive in Uttar Pradesh, but good news for the party in another politically crucial poll-bound state, Gujarat. In results of polls to local bodies, the BJP has swept the Gandhinagar Municipal Corporation, winning 41 of the 44 seats. Remember, this comes after the complete government makeover in Gujarat, with the chief minister and the entire cabinet being replaced. The BJP also won at least 2 other civic bodies in Gujarat. The Congress was a distant second in the local polls, but winning one key municipality in the Devbhoomi Dwarka district from the BJP. The AAP, contrary to hype, barely made any gains, although some observers say that they have cut into the opposition vote, hurting the Congress and helping the BJP. These polls being seen as a litmus test for the BJP in the backdrop of its decision to change the state's chief minister and entire cabinet. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also tweeted his gratitude to the voters of Gujarat for giving the BJP that comprehensive win. Well, the new chief of the Indian Air Force, Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary, has said there are significant numbers of Chinese aircraft remaining present at 3 key air bases in Tibet, which are facing India. He said the Indian Air Force is fully prepared to take on their air power.
पहला सवाल आपका है LAC पे सिचुएशन. आपको पता है कि फिलहाल अभी भी चाइनीज एयरफोर्स PLAF की डिप्लॉयमेंट्स अभी भी है 3 एयर बेसिस में अक्रॉस ईस्टर्न लद्दाख. हमारी तरफ से हमारी पूरी तैयारी है.
Well, moving to the other big headline, petrol and diesel prices up once again today. Petrol now at well over 100 rupees in Mumbai. The big worry also, of course, is diesel prices, which are also now at a record high of above 90 rupees in nearly all major cities. And the impact, of course, of rising diesel prices, also rising vegetable prices.
By the time this bumper crop of Mosambis from Nagpur arrives at Kolkata's Bada Bazaar, the price is going through the roof, much like and because of the spiraling price of diesel.
यहाँ का महंगाई का सिर्फ एक ही कारण है, पेट्रोल प्रत्येक दिन, डीजल प्रत्येक दिन जो महंगाई हो रहा है, इस वजह से यहाँ पे फल महंगा हो रहा है. ये जो बेचारे खरीदते थे 4 रुपए पीस, अभी ये 8 रुपए पीस खरीदना पड़ रहा है.
Behind the trucks lined up here at Bada Bazaar are offices, cubbyholes of people who own the trucks that travel across the country carrying goods. Truck owners are ready to throw in the towel.
स्थिति ऐसी है कि हम लोग गाड़ियां खड़ी करने वाले हैं, क्योंकि डीजल का दाम बहुत बढ़ गया है, तो कुछ नहीं बच रहा है. गाड़ी खड़ी करेंगे नहीं होगा, क्या करेंगे मैम? किस्तें कहाँ से देंगे? अभी लोन है, कहाँ से भरेंगे?
अगर गाड़ी वाले को नहीं बचेंगे तो गाड़ी वाले क्या करेंगे? अभी गाड़ियाँ कम से 20-25 गाड़ी हम लोग की डेली आती है यहाँ पे, अभी 3-4 गाड़ी आ रही है, तो आप बताइए गाड़ी वाले को, कंपनी को क्या बचेगा?
Not only fuel, toll plaza, every 6 months they are increasing the toll rate. Tire rate is going on. In fact, the truck prices also gone up from 21 lakh to 35 lakh in last 2-3 years. So how the truck owner or driver will survive?
Both petrol and diesel prices have shot up this year, diesel more steeply. In January, Delhi paid almost 74 rupees a litre. Today, over 91 rupees. That's a hike of 17 rupees to the litre, or 23%. Hyderabad's Mohammad Ghafoor transports goods in his diesel-run auto trolley. But with diesel about to cross the 100 mark in his city, he wants an alternative livelihood. He couldn't pay his children's school fees last month.
बहुत परेशानी होगा मैडम डीजल के आस्ते. तो डीजल अगर डाल के खाली अपने पहले के देख 200 का डीजल डालते 1000 रुपये बनते थे, अब 500 का डीजल डालते 1000 रुपये भी नहीं बन रहा.
Big businesses, small ones and the ordinary consumer all paying a huge price for the soaring price of diesel. With Uma Sudhir, Monideepa Banerjee, NDTV.
Well, the other big headline is that after reports that India only has 4 days of coal supply left, the centre has relaxed coal sale rules. Now, owners of captive mines can sell up to 50% stock. This is meant to address the current shortage. The minister, however, in an exclusive interview to NDTV, has said that the situation is now improving.
It is not a power crisis. We are meeting the entire demand of the country. The demand is increasing. Yesterday, the demand was about 15,000 megawatts more, 28 million consumers under Saubhagya. The economy is opening up and the economy is growing. And one problem, of course, was that we had rains in the coal-bearing areas. So the coal extraction also gets affected. But we are handling it. We are okay. No, less output means that we are in a position to meet whatever demand there is. There's not going. We don't have any issues on that.
Nothing is going.
And the coal dispatches have also increased.
Well, let's move across to what's happening in the markets now. Shares of Bharti Airtel and Vodafone Idea rallied as much as 3.26% and 7% respectively after the centre relaxing certain spectrum payment requirements. The Indian equity benchmarks extended gains in afternoon trading, with Sensex up by as much as 470 points, the Nifty 50 index moving above 17,800 on the back of broad-based buying interest. Well, in other news, the latest in the cruise ship drugs case, 4 people have been arrested and sent to NCB custody till 11th October. These are 4 more people. All 4 are from the company that organized the event on the cruise. The NCB lawyer says need to explore the nexus and the investigation is underway. This, as designer Suzanne Khan has come out saying that she thinks that what's happening with Aryan Khan is a witch hunt and that he was unfortunately in the wrong place at the wrong time, because some people have to make Bollywood a victim always. It is sad and unfair because he is a good child, and I stand with Gauri and Shah Rukh Khan.